Hello and welcome to this late morning taste challenge. Well, mid-morning taste challenge as we start heading into the late morning. I have two single malt Scotch whiskeys already moisturized the caps by tipping them. This is Glenglassaugh Evolution from the Glenglassaugh Distillery, Aberdeenshire, Scotland. Aberdeenshire, Scotland. Aged in ex-Tennessee whiskey casks or barrels. We don't know how long, no age statement, but it is non-chill filtered in its natural color. Imported. Now, whose whiskey barrels? Whose Tennessee whiskey barrels? I don't know, but it says imported by Brown-Forman Beverages, Louisville, Kentucky. That might give you a clue. This is a 2017 bottle. And I think it's June 12th, 2017, the 12th of June, because I think they're using the European writing, method on there, where they give the day first. We say like 12/6 would be December 6th. Anyway, I bought this a few years ago. I just recently opened it. I had a setting on the shelf waiting to get to it. I had my little gray cap cover, but I can't find it. Been looking for it. Oh, well, I guess that doesn't matter. This is running about $50. Yeah, that's a serious whiskey, Rob. You got it. $50, but I bought it at Savannah discount for not $50, not $40, not $30, not $20. No, I paid $15.99 for this bottle. As amazing as that seems, it's the truth. Funny thing about it, I didn't even buy it at first. I saw it, and I was like, I'm going to have to research this. But then when I got back home, I couldn't remember. I didn't write it down or anything. I couldn't remember the name. I said, it's called something. So the next time I went back there, maybe a month later, they had a few boxes left, but not too many. And it said ex-Tennessee barrels. I said, whoa. And then I said Brown-Forman on it. I said, well, okay, I understand now. So I bought it. I said, whoo, they still had some left. I took a risk that time. That was a close call. Now, the competitor, thanks to the Whiskey Scout, he gave this to me in 2021 as a gift. The Glenrothes 18-year age. Now, on the website, they say this is aged in ex-sherry barrels, sherry seasoned casks, so they use sherry barrels. This is the 1995 distillation. It was produced in 1995, but then it was barrel aged in those ex-sherry casks from 95 to 2013. So it's a 2013 bottling, okay? Their cork is on tight. Real cork. Real wood. For both. Real cork, real wood for both. And it says naturally colored. If you go to their website, they say at the Glenrothes Distillery, established 1879, they say we only use natural color. They don't add color in. Doesn't say non-chill filtered. I was under the impression that it was, but it doesn't say that, so I'm not going to mention it. All right. So, yeah, it's been pretty good. So it's that dark on its own, okay? 18 years in ex-sherry cask, that's how dark it. You can see me through it. That's how dark it got. And the Glenglassaugh is lighter. Do the ex-sherry casks make it dark like that? I really don't know. Possibly. Get a little bit more to even it out. Rascal. Okay. Right. Are these two well-known Scotch whiskeys? They're not, maybe in the hobby world, like people that's got a Scotch whiskey hobby and they always talking and get on Facebook and they got their little groups and say, oh, I did this, I did that. And like we have alcohol eggs and all. Okay, so But to the general public that get Scotch whiskey, I don't think either one of these are too well known. I never hear anybody talking about Glenglassaugh or the Glenrothes. Doesn't mean they're bad. Everything not going to be prominent. But the Glenlivet, uh, Glenfiddich, Ardbeg, you know, the big ones, you know. Lefroy, you know, the ones everybody's always talking about. Too many to mention, really. So I can't look down because if I see that darker color, I'm going to know it's the Glenrothes. Oh, proof. Did I put that in the notes? 50% alcohol, Glenrothes. I better put this up. 43% alcohol. Sorry about that. Yeah, so 50% alcohol. It's a strong one versus 43%. That's not a weak one. It used to be the regular proof on pretty much any whiskey you used to get 40, 50 years ago. You look at the old advertisements and they say 46 proof, 46.6 proof. That was just common. Blended whiskey, bourbon, didn't matter. But then they watered them down to 80. Why? I really don't know. Did consumers prefer the lighter taste? Are they trying to save money? Is it some tax reason? Because they told me that at Jack Daniels why they don't put an age statement because of taxes. Well, I looked down and I saw it was darker, so I know that's the Glenrothes. I got to read. It's a little bit off on the level. I hate to keep filling. Hear sirens. Trying to be stingy on these. Okay. 2 more little drops. 2 more little dribbles. And if that doesn't work, then it's just not going to work. Oh, yeah, it's got sediment galore in here. There are chunks. I don't mean just like little particles. There are big pieces of who knows what floating in there. I do not think this is chill filter, but I didn't put that indication because I don't have any definitive info. And it says imported by Anchor Distilling Company. It doesn't say made by them, it say imported by them. That's interesting, isn't it? You know, they're famous for beer, Anchor steam beer and Anchor porter and all that. Anchor Old Foghorn Ale, which we used to get that barley wine. It was so good. Then all of a sudden, I stopped seeing it. I mean, I didn't notice all of a sudden, just like around the time of the year, usually in the winter when I'd be looking for it. I said, let me go look for that. Couldn't find it. And hadn't seen it since. Same thing with Old Stock Ale. Forget it. Bigfoot, yeah, I can get that at Total Wine and More in Metairie, Louisiana. I don't know if anybody else sells it. Each year it comes out. A vintage 2023. Tastes the same every year, which means it tastes great. I have to buy the Christmas ale, Merry Christmas, our special ale. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, our special ale from Anchor because they change the recipe every year. Is it a big change? Nah, but it is a change. The ABV will vary, and you get some slight differences, but usually not much. But it tastes so wonderful. Abita has their different recipe every year for their Christmas ale, but the ABV never changes. Oh, they probably just adding one spice, deleting another, tweaking it now, so that people like me will fall for it and buy it, and it works because I do it every year. Breckenridge, I saw no indication that they change their recipe every year, but it's a wonderful Christmas ale, 7-point-something%. Honey topped white bread crust. Now I know you're going to say, you keep saying that. Oh, that's what it keeps smelling like. Different, 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 different. Not as strong in the nose. Sherry. That's in my brain now. It's in my mind now. It might be. It might smell like sherry. What kind of sherry? I don't know. I bet you it's not Taylor cream sherry or Fairbanks cream sherry or Sheffield cocktail sherry, but maybe it is. Huh. That one had a little sherry taste. And I'm talking about sherry though, but seriously, it's true. But honey top white bread crust, bread dough, baked bread, not raw. Little red apple. Oh man, smoke. No, 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 no. Peat, peat. No, 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 no. Ex Tennessee barrels, maybe. It's strong. Woo, woo. All right. I don't know, man. This tastes even stronger. That might be the Glenglassaugh. And I was talking about sherry over here, was I not? Oh, if I were you, I wouldn't sit around in the house all day doing taste challenges with 43% versus 50% alcohol Scotch whiskies. I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to do it. I did one this morning at dawn, right before dawn, and now, and that's it. Of course, you're always tempted. You want to do more and more because you just get excited. And like I was talking this morning, like getting that mania, that frenzy. You want to keep doing. Try this. I want to try this. I want to try that. I want to do another contest. I'm addicted to not gambling. You know, that's people get addicted to that because of the variable reward schedule. But and that's conditioning. They become conditioned to want to do it. It gets ahead of them, you see, and then they follow in their illness, really what it is. But you couldn't really call this a variable reward schedule because it's a what's not variable rewards. It's I'm using the wrong word, but it's like set. It's a set reward schedule. In other words, every time I do it, it's always a reward, meaning it tastes. They always usually taste good. Even the cheap ones I do, they always taste good. You know, within a certain framework or framing. But it's variable interval because I don't do it at any set. I mean, dawn busters, you know, but it goes all through different times of the day whenever convenience allows. Some days I can't do it. Like if I'm on a road trip, I'm not gonna even worry about it, and I'll just get back to it later. So that would be a variable interval schedule. Whoa, honey top white bread crust. So they both have that in common. Honey top white bread crust, and I think the Glenrothes is a space side, and I know the Glenglassaugh is a Highland. Both have a medium body, a medium long finish, nearly a long finish. What about peat over here? No. What about smoke over here? No. This is not that tight. I did that earlier this morning. I had the Ardbeg 10. I thought somebody had a fire going. It was like smoke damage. And it was wonderful. I love smoky Scotch whiskey. I just love it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Other people be the direct opposite. They say, oh, gag me. Oh, stomach turning. Hate that. I hate it. Which is certainly it's certainly their right. I like how some people in the Scotch whiskey, and it applies to every other type. Could be rum, could be beer, whatever, doesn't matter. They got people that's very strident, like everybody must like this. If you don't like this, you're stupid. No, maybe you're stupid for believing that. People could drink whatever they want to drink. What if they don't like drinking alcohol? Don't drink it. They might do milk reviews. There's probably channels on the internet for that. I know they do enough food. They do an awful amount of food, all kind of fast food. It goes on all day. I don't ever watch it because I'm not really into food per se. I eat it obviously to stay alive, but I'm not really. I just for them to say, "Oh, I'm gonna look at this new Italian style chicken sandwich," and I just don't watch it because I would probably never eat it anyway. I'm too busy with all these beer, wine, and liquor reviews. I got such a backlog right now, I can't even get through it. That's smooth, though. It really is. I got my eyes closed because if I look down and see the dark, I'm going to know what it is because the other one's clearly darker. I like it. It's a little bland. Like some of these, they kind of bland in a way. Like they just, you say, well, it's just like Canadian blended whiskey or American blended, not bourbon. No, that's unique. But it just like tastes like sugary water, alcohol, bread crust. That's so common, say bread crust, because they're made from grain, in it barley grain, but they make barley bread. But so it's just they kind of like one is like the next, and this one's like that, and you keep saying the same thing, bread crust. Oh, that's bread crust. Well, that's honey top bread. That's honey top bread. You know what this one is? It's bread with honey on the top. So it gets a little redundant. Not to say in a bad way, but it's definitely not a standout thing. But then when you go to the Ardbeg 10, and it's like the smoke. Oh, help me. Then it's a more fascinating experience. And why you think the craft beer thing went to full explosion? Same old thing back in the 1970s and 80s. Every beer was more or less the same. It was just like Dos Equis is a little bit different. It's not really that different, but actually Dos Equis was because it was dark beer and it was a Vienna lager. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it was different. It had like the caramel flavor and all. Then they introduced the Especial in 1983, which was more like a Budweiser type, but maize-based adjunct opposed to rice. And it's a lot duller than Budweiser. But it's just like people say, oh, that's a little different. And this Heineken Special Dark, it's a little bit different. Wasn't way different, a little bit different. Oh, the Michelob Classic Dark. I don't know what made it a classic because it was only introduced in 1981, but that's what they call it. Oh, well, that has a little caramel character to it. Maybe they added caramel flavor. Can't say that. But so then it just kept growing, from there. And now we got cherry flavor. Oh, we got cherry juice. We got chocolate. We got trail mix flavored beer. And then it gets more exciting. But then the more exciting it gets, then it's really not exciting after a while. It's like, okay, oh, this one tastes like orange peel. And then it's just like everything is flavored. Everything is hazy. Everything is 14%. And it becomes that kind of rat race. But I'm not involved in it really. It doesn't bother me because I just sample them. I taste them. I say, well, let me try this. Let me try that. I'm not producing the product. Do I miss some products? Sure. I was loving over 10 years ago when Newcastle was bringing out all these variants because they got into it too. Newcastle Brown Ale. They say, oh, let's make Cabby. That was a black ale. Wonderful product. Only problem is I was the only one that drank it, I guess. Then they had the Werewolf, a red ale. Oh, boy, that was good. Once again, if I'm the only one drinking it, ain't going to work. Then they did the collaboration with Caledonian Brewery in Scotland, and they made all those specialty, the pale ale and the India pale ale and that variety pack. But like I said, go try to find video reviews for it. You won't find them. You might find 3. So they just threw in the towel. The owners of the company said, wasting money. Nobody wants it because it's macro. Even though it was macro goodo. All right, Mondo Cane. Oh, me. Here we go. I'm going to say that's strong, quite strong, and beautiful flavor. Oh, I'll never get tired of that. I wouldn't get tired of it. But that's got to be the Glenglassaugh. It's too strong. Too strong. Oh. Okay. I got it. Oh, that was difficult. Oh, that was a rough one. Nice to drink, but hard to determine. Oh, but I got it. But I had it in my head, I said, that's sherry. That's that note. I'm glad I read about sherry. You say you cheated. I didn't cheat. I was reading about I was reading about it. I was reading about Glenrothes, so I could put good notes down below. And they said that Glenrothes is aged in ex-sherry barrels. So, I mean, it's not cheating. It's what there's the information. Oh, yeah, I got to clean these glasses. Okay, so now the comments. Rob Fudd said, now that's a serious whiskey. And then Shane Fudge says, howdy, Jay. Hello, Shane in Arkansas. Good to hear from you. Craft Beer Tastic said, I miss all the Michelob seasonals. I do too. Those were so good. But you got to make money. If they don't sell, it ain't going to work. I miss Shane Fudge. Shane Fudge said, can't speak. Well, this was 43%. And this is 50%. You got to give me a break. Sling Gludge says, I really like. Okay, all kidding aside. Shane Fudge said, I really like Michelob Dry. Michelob Dry was so good. But then people wouldn't buy dry beer because they don't understand. They say dry. Oh, that sounds nasty. Don't know nothing about what it means. Of course, the beer companies didn't really explain that very well. It just meant it wasn't sweet. It was like totally not sweet. So it was crisp. It was like the ultimate crisp beer. Like if it was champagne, it would be like Brut or something. Super dry. Isn't Brut the dry one? And I was saying, oh yeah, back in the 90s, I said, I'm going to keep these bottles because I'll show you. They're collectibles more or less. Ice got us frozen in today. Y'all got oh yeah, that line, that front line, the front line. Oh, y'all couldn't go to school? We ought to do a hangout. But what will we talk about? That line, it looked like it stopped around Shreveport. And I think it's going to back off. Like, I don't think we're going to get that Arctic air here. I think it's going to back off like by Friday. And we'll get cold. I mean, cold like, you know what I mean, 39 degrees, something like that. It's so humid right now. But anyway, here's the old Michelob. You said I missed the old Michelob bottle shapes. Here we go. Here's Michelob Dry. This lamp is bright, so it makes glare. So there's the Michelob Dry bottle. Never opened, by the way. Let me assure you, it's still got beer in it. Wouldn't dare drink it. I bought this bottle, and I drank 5 of them, but I saved this. I couldn't open it because it would tear the shroud, and it would ruin the whole. And then my father goes grabbing it. He's starting to tear the shroud. I said, "What? Stop." I said, "You don't have to grab it to look at it. You could just look at it." He's like, "You're getting so serious about it." I said, "I can't go buy more." So, of course, I was in a panic fit. I said, "You can look at things without touching them. You know, some people got to touch everything." Of course, I can't criticize my father, you know, but he does like to do that. So I said, I just dusted these doggone bottles. There's still dust on it. I'm gonna go clean them. I said, "Don't touch it. Just look at it." So this bottle is from, I'll tell you the year, born on date. Remember they used to do the born on date. You know, Anheuser-Busch, give them credit. I know y'all hate Anheuser-Busch because they're big and you hate everything that's big because you're jealous. But they always put the born on dates. They're the ones that pioneered that. And this is, says the 44th day of 2020. Haha. The 44th day of 1996. No. Now, this bottle is from the 19th day of July, 97, because they changed the label. So I had to buy it. You know, I had to buy it for my collection. I was at the store and they changed the label. I said, "Well, I guess I'm buying another 6-pack. I'm going to drink 5 and save 1. That's a little nicer label, a little more elegant. Still full of beer. Strange. It's really not that hazy. Huh. But it's got chunks in it. It's starting to separate. I wouldn't drink that beer for any kind of money. Every ingredient is the finest obtainable: water, barley malt, select grains, yeast, and hops. What's the select grains? Well, you know, rice. And right around this time was when they made that little experiment with Michelob malt, a Michelob malt liquor, but that went nowhere. They were just trying it out. You know, I wish I could have gotten the can or bottle. Never could find it. So those are classics, and I got them. I have them in my collection. Oh man! All right. Cheers, Ronaldo. Says Ricky and Morty Impressionists. Cheers to you. Drewski Brewski says, "Cheers, Ronald the Riot." Cheers to you. Ta ta. You got the right ta ta, but the wrong ho ho. The Whiskey Scout said, "It's a warm 6 degrees here in Northwest Kansas where I'm working. That sounds perfectly miserable. And I am not jealous." Shane Fudge said, "Those bottles were sexy." Those are the best looking bottles, man. But look how the steel caps have deteriorated over the years. Look at the cap. You would think I had those in a shed or out in the weather. I didn't have them out in the weather. That's just from age. Those steel caps, they just whatever you call it, fall apart. They get deteriorated. They rust or something. Look at that. Can't help it. I'm surprised the labels have held up though. Didn't fade. They never faded. You know, I couldn't believe that. I thought they would have surely faded, but they didn't. Isn't that a pretty bottle? Those could go up against some craft beers and whip them too. No, I'm telling you right now. You say, "Yeah, you're wrong." No, I'm not. And I'm unanimous in that. Okay, last comments. Can you only buy beer is packs in the USA, says Paul James. I know he meant to say, can you only buy beer in packs? Oh, no. Oh, no. You can buy singles all the time. In fact, if anybody wants to see me singles, I just bought 3 singles this morning. I'll show them to you if you want to see them. But people probably say, "I don't want to see that." But if you do, I'll show them to you. Do I have a Budweiser American Ale bottle? Oh, of course. What are you talking about? We've had snow on the ground for 3 weeks. Oh, I don't like wintertime. I think they even made canned version, but try finding that. There it is. Oh, this glare is driving me nuts. Budweiser American Ale. Even has a different bottle design. That didn't last. How big is your bottle and can collection, says Shane? Well, it's pretty big. It's not huge, you know, a few hundred. Look at that camera. I got the camera set up because later on I have a wine review to do. I found some of these wines and I got such a great deal, half price. So I'm going dark to light. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing the Cabernet Sauvignon because I don't have to keep those in the fridge. You're not supposed to cool. You're not supposed to drink those cool. You're supposed to drink them at room temperature. And all right. I'll show them, Hector. Hold on. Those caps are designed to be drank and not saved. Yeah, I know. That's why they didn't hold up. But, you know, it's the best I can do. And now Whiskey Scout saying, hey, Shane. And then Shane say, hey, Robert. Everybody's having a good time. All right, I'm sorry y'all in that cold. So let's last sip of this whiskey. Oh, man, that is good. So I'm sorry I lost my cap cover. I don't know. I just can't explain it. I don't know where it went. I'll probably find it in like 10 years, you know. I clean the house all the time. But Evolution, if you see it, it's worth $50. It's definitely worth $50. And I got it for $15.99 at Savannah discount. $15.99. The Glenrothes 18-year age. This is the 1995 edition. Oh yeah, you should buy it. It ain't gonna be cheap, but it's going to be worth it. Okay, let me go get those 2 cans. Hold on. Those 3 cans. Hold on. Hold on. And I'm not going to apologize for getting that Glenglassaugh for $15.99. They had the price. I don't know why they would sell it so cheap. It doesn't make any sense. They got the Southern Comfort pepper. They call it Southern Comfort pepper. It's not. It hadn't been made for so long. Those bottles are so old. I told my friend David. I said they don't make that anymore. I said, why do you think they got it? They probably got some old back stock somewhere. They got these gift packs. You get 2 glasses and a bottle of hot sauce. Bottle of hot sauce. Not, I don't know, some kind of Tabasco buffalo wing sauce, and a bottle of Southern Comfort pepper. And I'm not joking about this. At International Market, they still got, they must have 36 boxes, maybe more, because they probably got it in the back. $5 a box, $4.99 a box. My friend David said, I might go buy another one. I said I might buy it too because it is good with that Tabasco pepper in it, Tabasco sauce. It ain't nothing great, but for $4.99, you almost have to do it, you know. Already have an Evolution and what's left in the sister bottle to the Glenrothes. Oh yeah? Evolution. I've been evolving with this thing. Okay, here's the craft beers I bought, and then I'm out of here. The first one I bought is from Minnesota. It's from a company called Lupulin Brewing Company. It's in Big Lake, Minnesota. This lady that used to come over here, she said, oh yeah, I went to high school right down the road from there, and she knew about it. This is 5%, so it's very mild. It's only 12 bitterness units, so it's very low bitterness. It's a perfect anytime fun beer, they're saying. Anytime fun beer. It's called Tropical Fun Pants. It's a blonde ale with fruit and ale with natural flavors. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I'm dying to drink an ale with natural flavors. pale ale. But you know, I said, oh well, heck, it's $2.99. I bet you it ain't gonna taste like all of those flavors. That's a little overboard with all of this, but you know how these labels are. And it's over 6 months old, canned. Yeah, so it's long in the tooth, but they usually give it a year date. At least it's got a date, guys. Here's the next one: Rally Cap failed T-shirt company oatmeal stout. Failed T-shirt company oatmeal stout. And this was $3.49. And these are all pints. It's an oatmeal stout with hints of chocolate and coffee flavor. So they're adding a little bit of chocolate and coffee flavor. But they don't put a date. So I don't know how old this is. Is it new, old, out of date? Who knows? Rally Cap doesn't bother to put dates. I guess they don't care if you get a fresh beer or not. And I'm not ripping on them because they're from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Here is another one from Rally Cap. It's called Handmade Home Team. It's called Christmas Ale, the 2022 version of our annual Christmas Ale. I never even saw this till today. So this is some old leftover Christmas ale from last year. I never even saw it till today. And well, at least I have some range idea on it. You know, it's probably was put on the shelf or in the can in October of 2022. So that's usually when the Christmas sales hit the shelves. So November, December, January. It's probably not too old. But I mean, you know, they don't bother putting the dates. And then these companies will complain, y'all don't support us. You don't even support yourself. Okay, but enough ranting and raving. The Tabasco sauce in that pack is way out of date in the one I bought when I was down there. Yeah, I believe that. You could still try it. Maybe it'd be all right. But that's just an add-on. You know, those packs when they were sold fresh probably was selling for $20, $25. Now they're selling for $4.99. If I would taste a little bit of the sauce, but I would smell it first. If it smelled off, I wouldn't drink, you know, use it. But I'm sure that whiskey, we use that in quotes, whiskey, haha, Southern Comfort. The distilled beverage product is probably fine. And even when it was in the Brown Forman days, it wasn't really even hardly whiskey. It was really just grain spirits. Now it's spirit whiskey. But read about spirit whiskey and you'll see that not a whole lot really changed. But it's an interesting product. It really is. It's an interesting product. And I'm tempted to go pay $4.99 and buy another pack. Tempted, but not necessarily devoted to doing it. But it could happen. All right. Well, thanks everybody. No, I'm not cracking that Drewski Brewski. I'm leaving those till I get ready to do a review. But I need to do the Christmas ale first, right? Because we know that one is. I got to do this one soon, and I got to do this one soon because they're getting long in the tooth. This one I couldn't say because I don't know. They don't want to put the date because they're lazy. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Y'all take care now. Bye bye.